Gatos, I think it's probably not unusual that people turn to social media for medical advice.
Oh, gosh.
Well, I'm not saying it's a good thing. Let's get that out of the way. Because it doesn't take much scrolling for you to figure out you've got Legionnaire's disease. By the way, you don't have Legionnaire's disease.
Don't put it in my brain.
Okay.
Not the idea, all right,
But more and more people are also turning to social media for mental health support and advice. And some new research out there says that more than half of the top trending videos on mental health contain misinformation or flat out falsehoods.
Oh, no.
Which have the effect of making the people searching for that information feel even worse when this supposed cure doesn't work or when the therapy that's suggested doesn't work. Can I give you an example of just how crazy it is? I'll give you an example. Eating an orange in the shower will reduce your anxiety. By the way, it doesn't.
That's awful.
Okay? Supplements with no evidence whatsoever. Take more saffron and magnesium and basil.
Go back to the orange.
Yeah, eating an orange in the shower.
If you have anxiety and it's bad, you will try that.
Yeah.
You will try that. Doesn't make any sense.
I can imagine you could be desperate to do these things.
And look at the word that I just wrote down right here.
Yeah.
Desperate.
Yeah.
I think if you're out there and you're suffering from this, the worst place you could go is social media. And social media might be bringing you your anxiety and your depression in the first place.
So here's the unintended, truly negative consequences. Let's say you're suffering from anxiety.
Okay.
And you eat your orange in the shower every day.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's not helping.
No.
Okay? You feel even worse. You think you have got some sort of incurable version of this because this TikTok influencer, this Instagram doctor is telling you this is going to cure your anxiety, and it won't.
No.
And so you end up digging the hole deeper.
So I was on a flight coming back from vacation, coming back from Scotland.
Yeah.
Spent some time over there.
You've mentioned.
And don't, well, I can mention it. I'm not allowed to.
Totally joking.
I know. So we're getting on our second flight to come back to Phoenix.
Okay.
And there is a teenager, a young teenager. And I see her sitting at the airport. And she is crawling out of her skin.
Oh, you can tell just looking.
There's no doubt. And I knew she's crying. Her hands are, she's wringing her hands.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
She's kind of, put her knees up on the seat and kind of, she's petrified.
Yeah.
And my guess is that she's scared to fly.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. And she's having an anxiety attack. And I look at her and I'm like, I told my wife and I'm like, I got to go say something.
Yeah. You know what this feels like.
I know exactly what that feels like. And so it's tough because, I looked over there and her parents are there.
Oh.
I know she's got brother and sister, so it's a family. And Bruce, if I could have taken that away from her, I begged God to let me give it to me. Mm-hmm. I know what to do with it. I can deal with it.
She hasn't learned yet.
Not yet.
Probably how to. Yeah.
And I'm telling my wife, I've got to go say something. And so we did. And I just said, hey, you've got to, I'm guessing you've got anxiety. And it's yes. And I said, can I give you a couple tips? So it's from a stranger. It's not TikTok. Like, if you want to do something about getting rid of your anxiety, first of all, psychologists, psychiatrists, right?
Yeah.
Academic experts.
Professionals.
Correct. Or how about someone who's had the issue before?
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to, I didn't know if she was going to even make the plane ride. It was, I've never felt more helpless.
I'm not discounting what you did, okay? Here's one of the things. When you're talking about depression or PTSD, getting over trauma, one of the concerns that the professionals say is when you go on social media and you find a cure or you find somebody that tells you this is going to supposedly make you feel better, they're a lot of times running it through their filter. Their experience with depression, their experience with PTSD, their experience with trauma, which may not be yours. Like, like, let me put this, all anxiety isn't the same.
Right.
All depression isn't the same. All PTSD, it's not the same.
No.
And
Different triggers.
exactly. And this kind of, well, this should fix you approach doesn't work. And that's what they're seeing on social media. Again, half of the top mental health videos on TikTok are full of false and misleading information that are not helping people who are obviously looking out and struggling.
Yeah, and there's no quick fix to any of this stuff. And I think that people are looking for a quick fix. They're looking to scroll and looking for a solution. Oh, that'll make me feel better. That'll make me feel less anxious. And you don't know the person who's done this video. You have no idea.
No.
You have no idea who they are.
But we see, and you know, while you were gone, you know, La was in here.
Yes.
And she's big on the social media, right? Has a following.
Right.
And we were talking about, you know, some of these other people with these huge followings. And people feel like they know them.
Of course.
People feel like they are a part of their lives. And if somebody like that, who you've developed this relationship through the screen with, starts giving you medical advice or mental health advice.
It's not good.
Well, I agree that it's not good,
Yeah.
but it's tough for you to distance yourself, say, you know what, even though I admire this person, look up to this person, think this person's life is awesome, I'm not going to listen to what they say about my anxiety.
But some of these videos could be just random people.
Absolutely,
And
they
that's
could.
the crazy thing. It's not even somebody that you trust or you follow. It
And
just pops up.
They keep getting bounced up, and they're getting, you know, the way the algorithm works, you know, you're seeing it more often, and you start seeing more things from them, and it can be more harmful than it can be helpful.
Yeah.
And I find that frustrating because, again, I would say this. When I talk about depression,
You know.
but I realize it's my version of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what other people's depression feels like to them.
Right.
And I don't claim to. I can tell people my story. I can talk about how it's impacted and affected me. But the idea that I have some sort of magical cure for it is ridiculous. I can tell you, here's some of the things that work for me.
Right.
Here's some things that I tried. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Right.
That's not what it means.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I found one thing, and I remember this coming from a neurologist. And I thought this was really telling when it comes to things like the brain and mental health. And he told me, what we don't know about how the brain works is dwarfed by what we do know. You know what I'm saying? He goes, we haven't even scratched the surface. We have no idea how this thing works.
So when I put a bow on this,
Please.
I told the young
girl?
teen, I said, here's what I can promise you.
Ooh,
This will pass,
that's great.
and you will feel better.
Yeah.
And I know you don't believe that right now because you're getting ready to get on a plane.
When you're in the middle of it, it's
This is
tough to
brutal.
believe that, right?
Yeah. But you will feel better.
Yeah.
And you just keep telling yourself, this will pass. So after we landed, we go and get the bags.
Yeah.
And I saw her. Man, night and day. You just, like, it's incredible, the difference.
Yeah.
She was calm. And I went up to her and I said, you did great. Because I saw her walk on the plane. I said, you did great. And she smiled, and her parents thanked me. And
Good for
my
you.
wife was trying to encourage her as well. And I said, just remember this. Your anxiety doesn't make you weak. It makes you stronger than everybody else in this airport. So when you look around, you're the tough one.
Yeah.
You're the one that's tough. They don't know what it feels like. You're the one that's tough.
You're here.
So she was very brave.
Great
It's
story.
Tough.
Great story.
So I guess here's the thing. If you got anxiety, you got depression, don't go to TikTok or Facebook and don't do any of that stuff. Go get some help.
There's professionals out
Go get
there.
some
There's
help.
research. There's evidence-based things that can work for you. TikTok influencers are not the place to go. No.
Thanks for watching Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos. Tap to watch more from KTAR News and click the button in the middle to subscribe.